All right, look, I know I said I wasn't going to buy the red Nintendo Switch system, but when I was at GameStop picking up Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury, I noticed that they actually had a nice little pile of these on the back counter, and it appears that Nintendo may have actually decided to stock these well enough to where you could walk in and get them. So I figure, hey, you know what, we'll unbox the system here, and I realized this would be the newest Nintendo Switch console, and then also the newest Joy-Con controllers that would come with it. So I figure we could take the backs off of each of those, the controller and the system, just see if there's any changes that they've made so far. Guys, if you enjoyed these videos, make sure that like button helps out a ton. And if you're new here to the Spawn Wave channel, make sure you subscribe down below. So I'll start by taking a look around the box. It does come with a carrying case for Mario Red and Blue Edition. We've talked about the color scheme, and I mean, I'm not completely sold on the color scheme because it's like this weird clashing blue. The idea of this being red all the way around for the system is pretty cool, and it has a red dock, so that is at least different than the normal special editions that we're used to that may have some like etchings on the normal black dock and then etchings on the black shell for the Switch. This is just a complete color swap. On the side, they show off the case here and that unusual kickstand color. They decided not to make that red, which is weird. It's off-putting to a lot of people from what I've noticed online with reactions, and I'm not a big fan of it either. But then you have like kind of the blue background there, and then on the back they just have a very simple, clean backing, all red with the Nintendo Switch logo here, and then the Joy-Con controllers kind of just hanging with these blue grips on the sides. And then inside we do have right away the Joy-Con controllers, and then we have the Switch itself. I really want to take a look at the Switch very quickly because it is interesting to see Nintendo do like a whole color swap all the way around. And you know what? This is an interesting looking red. I have one of those neon red Joy-Con controllers that we can put it next to for comparison. So this is the red Joy-Con here with the Mario Edition Switch, and then this is the neon controller that you got maybe when you first picked up your Switch. And the neon one obviously is a bit brighter. This, however, is more dull and not as vibrant or deep red, I would say, as I was expecting actually from some of the pictures. So the model numbers for these Joy-Con controllers that come with this Mario Edition Switch, JCL and JCR, that being Joy-Con left, Joy-Con right, V3. I have these two here with a C2 and a C3. So these model numbers are at least different from these two here. However, I know we've gone through quite a few different model numbers with these different Joy-Con controllers as different variants have come out. So what I'll do is I will take at least the back off of one of these just to see if there's any major differences. You know what, looking at kind of the red for this Switch, it's not over the top, right? Like we've had red Joy-Cons before and those are a deeper red. This isn't quite as deep, but I think it's subtle enough to work pretty well, especially when you have contrasting colors like we have like the black railings here. And like I said, unfortunately, this black kickstand that just doesn't quite sit right. Like I think this would be much better if it was just all red back here with this kickstand being red as well. But this red against kind of this Switch logo all the way around. The black bezel does stick out a bit more with this, obviously, compared to like the all gray Switch model. Still works pretty well. Also, the model numbers appear to be pretty much the same between this Switch and my Day 1 V2 Switch with the HAC01 parentheses 01 and even down to the first three letters of the serial number being XKW, which tells me there's probably no significant change inside, but once again, I will pop the backing off to check. Now it did also come with a Mario themed carrying case as well as a screen protector for the new Switch there. And it's blue on one side, then it's red on the other with a bunch of like Mario symbols, whether it's like Mario's fist, his overalls, or his hat and mustache. And then you should be able to just carry your Switch around in this. I don't know what kind of protection this will actually give your Switch, as it does seem kind of thin, so I don't know if I would go dropping this off a building or something, but inside of it, it is kind of padded on either side with kind of this felt sort of lining. In the middle here, we do have a compartment that'll house, looks like 5 different game cartridges, as well as kind of this mesh pocket here. I guess you could throw maybe a USB cable in here for charging or something, and it looks like the Switch should sit right up top just like this. This will go over kind of the screen area with this felt side to protect it, and it'll close up just like that. I know that this carrying case isn't like the main attraction of this red Nintendo Switch edition, but it is a bit of an oversight to not have any kind of handle on this Switch casing. It seems like it'd be very standard or basic just to have one on this side or on this side so you can carry it around, but I guess they figure you're either gonna throw it in a backpack or just, I guess, carry it under your arm like this. Now they do also have this special edition blue Joy-Con grip here, and when I first saw it, I wasn't very sold on it really. It looked a bit strange in some of the images that they showed. However, seeing it in person now and just seeing how the red isn't as, I guess, vibrant or deep as I thought it was going to be, it does look better here in person than what it showed in their marketing materials. And I guess technically you can use any of the different Joy-Con colors you want with this blue grip. So I guess it's just cool to at least have a different color combination that we can have with the Joy-Cons and the grip from Nintendo. And then finally we have the red dock. And it was pretty cool to see them do an entire color swap for the dock. I mean, the entire thing is changed. Like the whole back, the door, inside of the system here with the plastics, it's all red. The only thing that's, I guess, still black, if you look all the way down there where it plugs in, that plastic is still black, but like everything else is changed completely. And it all does come together pretty nicely when you set this in here. You have kind of the black contrast right above there with that bezel against all of the red here. I'm glad that they didn't do something very minimal with the dock itself and they decided to just say, hey, you know, we're just doing the whole thing. It's all gonna be red. It does look pretty good in person with the dock, and I'm glad that there is at least something different when it comes to docks, because you figure that would be one of the easiest things for Nintendo to release, are just customized Nintendo Switch docks like constantly, but we really haven't had that many. Oh, and I guess the last thing are these like Nintendo Switch Joy-Con straps that they have included here. It's all blue at the top, and then kind of the string that comes off of it is this red, white, and blue design, along with this yellow piece of plastic here for tightening it with the Nintendo logo on it. I think supposed to more or less mimic a coin. And real fast, we're gonna take the back off of this left Joy-Con to see if Nintendo's made any obvious changes inside. And as expected, not much has really changed inside of the Joy-Con controllers with this red special edition Switch. Seems that they just mostly changed out the plastics to match with the Switch that we have here for the Mario edition. And internals here seem very similar to like the yellow and purple ones that I got recently, or the gray Switch Joy-Cons that I have with my V2. The biggest difference I remember that they made was the motherboard revision, where they took the antenna that used to be up here and moved it down here. But otherwise, this joystick has changed a few times with different revisions, but none of them appear to have fixed the Joy-Con drift, as we still get several reports about it now. And once again, as expected, no major changes inside of this red Nintendo Switch. Everything, including the layout, the board, appears to be the same as if you just bought a basic V2 Switch, down to the chip itself here. That is that same 0DNX10-A1 from NVIDIA, that Mariko chip. Oh, and while we have the back off, it is good to see that the red plastics on the front does extend to even like places you wouldn't see back here. I mean, Nintendo really did just change out the entirety of the front shell completely for a red shell. So good to see there they didn't like go halfway or something. And this does open the door for possibilities of future special edition systems, that maybe they want to do one for the Legend of Zelda anniversary coming up, and this is like gold or something, or like black with gold accents for the front. So a lot of things they can do going forward, especially with this here. Hopefully it becomes a trend for them where they go the extra mile for these special editions and they don't just change out like the back panel or something. And ladies and gentlemen, that's gonna do it here for the Mario Special Edition Red Nintendo Switch. You know what? It's not a bad overall Switch Special Edition, considering what we've seen in the past, where Nintendo will change out maybe the Joy-Con shells barely and then change off like the back panel for the Switch. This one, they went the extra mile, changed up the dock plastics completely and the front bezel, as well as do a completely different color for the Joy-Con grip. It gives me hope going into the Zelda anniversary coming up. Maybe we'll get a full special edition there as well, but there's no real differences inside of the system for anyone who was wondering about that. I don't know if anyone was really expecting there to be a major difference, but there we are. Let me know what you guys think about this special edition down below for the Mario 35th anniversary. Wait for them to cap everything off. Thanks guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.